Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashir Kirk here with the Majid Tones Institute of Quran. And we're back with common mistakes made when reciting Al-Fatihah, ayah 5. So let's get started right away, inshallah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. I begin with the name of Allah, praising Allah, and sending prayers and blessings upon His noble messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, upon his family, his noble family, and upon his noble companions. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilman wa 'amalan mutaqabbalan ya arhamar rahimin. I ask Allah to grant us beneficial knowledge and to benefit us with that knowledge and to continuously increase us in knowledge. Ya arhamar rahimin, ya arhamar rahimin, ya arhamar rahimin. Ameen. So, the very first mistake, which is a very major, this is considered a major mistake in this ayah. So now we're getting to really major mistakes. Not applying the shadda to the ya in the word iyyaka. So iyyaka means you, right? It means you. Whenever you a shadda over a letter, it is basically equal to two of that letter, whatever letter it's over, right? So a ya with shadda is equal to two yas. So when you strip a word of the shadda, you're stripping it of an entire letter. Literally, you're literally stripping it of an entire letter, thereby either changing the meaning of the word or stripping the word of any meaning at all whatsoever. So when you say Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, it's basically a statement of shirk. You are saying that something else that you worship and something else you seek your assistance from, and not Allah. Because Iyaka is saying, you, O Allah, I only worship, and you, O Allah, right, I only seek my aid from. Whereas Iyak does not mean you, it means something completely different. So the proper way to say it is Iyaka with shadda. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Okay, so Iyyaka. Make sure you hold that ya. Iyyaka, and then push it out instead of saying Iyyaka. Okay. The next thing is not clarifying the ayn in na'budu. I didn't make that red. Okay. So not clarifying the ayn in the word na'budu, right? So a lot of people will say Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Na'budu. Instead of na'budu, and saying it very clearly, right? Remember when we said we put a sukoon over a letter, we want to say that letter very clearly. Na'budu. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Na'budu, right? So saying the ayn very clearly and not basically turning the ayn into an alif or into a hamza. Na'budu. If you can't say the ayn properly, all you have to do is inshallah work on it over and over until you can at least get somewhat close to it, as close as you possibly can. And inshallah, if you can't get it, some people some people just really genuinely can't. But don't give up on yourself until you try, inshallah. Alright, so number 3 is stretching the sound of the dal in na'budu. So it's outrageously common. SubhanAllah, I mean like so many people say Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. And I think it might be because just like kind of maybe subconscious, if you will, because that wow is in front of it. They see it and automatically I think people think, that's part of the word. So they say, so if you look here, right, it looked like, if you're not looking at the harakat or paying attention to the harakat, it looks like it might say na'budu. But then you say, okay, well there's a waw with a fatha and you're saying wa still, so there's not two waws, so you have to kind of make that distinction, right? It's only one waw and there's no waw after the dal. So it's not Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka. And this is one mistake that I've found. It is sometimes very difficult for a person that has like basically ingrained it in their minds, saying it that way. Very difficult to give up. So work on it. Like just say it. نعبد وإياك نعبد وإياك. Right? Repeat it over and don't say نعبد وإياك. And if you say it, try to catch yourself. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Okay? So, don't stress the sound of the dal in the word na'budu. Okay? Because there's no waw after. Next thing is making the dal in na'budu heavy instead of light. Very, 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 very common as well. So a lot of people will say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. Right? So they make it into a dad instead of a dal. They say na'budu, na'budu. So you want to make sure you're not saying na'budu, and you're saying na'budu, 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 do, dal, do. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Okay? And then you have number 5 here, making the wow heavy instead of light. So, you'll hear a lot of times Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in wa iyyaka wa. If I ask you wow fatha, you'll tell me wa. Wow is a light letter. Wa. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You should be smiling when you say wa at the end of it, because obviously the wa part will make your mouth round, but at the end of it, when you're finished pronouncing it, you should be smiling. Wa. Okay? And then we have the final main issue, which is pronouncing the ta as a ta in the word nasta'in. This is very, very, very common, subhanAllah. So, it's not nasta'in, right? Nasta, ta is light. Ta is heavy, but as you can see, it's not a ta. So you have to read, right? Sometimes, what happens is, a lot of people learn the Fatiha by listening, or by looking at transliteration, which is fine, it's okay. But once you learn how to read, it's your responsibility to go into the Mus'haf and basically re-memorize it based off of your reading of that surah. If you notice, there is a ta here. So your knowledge, right, you knowing that ta is light and that ta is heavy and that this is not a ta, should tell you, when you're reading it, that it's nasta'in. It can't be nasta'in. But a lot of people across the board, right, say nasta'in. So we want to make sure we're not saying that. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Wa iyyaka nasta'in. Nasta'in. Okay? And then we have some of the repeats from the last, which I decided not to put, like making sure that the sukoon on the scene is very clear. Wa iyyaka nasta'in. Nasta'in, and making sure the temporary sukoon on the noon also clear. Nasta'in, not nasta'in, nasta'in, nasta'in. Alright, so let's say the ayah one more time. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Alright, so let's say it from the beginning. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Okay, so inshallah until next time. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.